Shopify itself, since a few people were asking me what exactly is the way to work it, that kind of stuff. Now, I can understand why quite a lot of people don't actually know how to work Shopify. The reason for why I can understand is it's quite well known in the SEO world that Shopify itself has many SEO flaws, particularly for on-page issues itself. Because it's got quite a lot of issues in that area, quite a lot of CEOs all around the world decided basically not to use Shopify itself. They may have clients that got Shopify sites for one reason or another, but them themselves will probably not have a Shopify site unless they buy it or they want to keep it for some reason or another. It's just how it works in general. But anyway, getting into it, I'll tell you about Shopify and then tell you why I don't personally like myself. And then you can make a decision if you want to use this or another platform or another software of some sort, or you make your own. Okay, let's get into it now. So this is basically a Shopify site I bought off someone. Because I bought off someone, I basically had access to a site which was already making okayish money, which then would allow me to basically increase the sales once I done a few things to it. Because of all the problems with Shopify itself, just bad on page and a range of issues, I said I'm just going to move it to WordPress itself quite soon. So you can see here, we got the basic dashboard. You basically got a photo there, my name, blah, blah, blah. We got total sales, total sessions, live visitors, see live view. You see your stop is I'm basically moving server, credit card, that sort of details, how much views the products have got at the moment. You can also, as well, which you may find quite interesting, you can sell physical products, such as a product you can touch, say an Apple car, that kinds of stuff, or you can sell a service such as an ebook, that kinds of stuff as well. It says here your store is getting a lot of traffic. Your traffic is in the top 20 stores at once in the same week as you. Every visitor is a potential customer. Great work. Your visitors are using these top search engines such as blog, news, news, search is one, Facebook page views, less than 2 seconds, referral, odd shipping policy. You can also learn about Shopify payments. You can do Shopify in a few ways. You can do PayPal, you can do, I think, if I remember, I haven't really done it much in a while, but you had your own version. You can use Stripe and quite a lot of other things if you want to. But people will generally expect you to have your PayPal or Stripe itself on your shop. But one thing you must remember, which is really, really important when it comes to e-commerce yourself, if for some reason you're having a lot of refunds for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter what the reason is, but in the case of this, if you have too many refunds or returns, that kind of stuff, they could actually cancel your account and say, oh, we've got to make you pay extra money to keep your account with all the refunds you get. So they might say to you, just for say you're doing 1,000 sales a month, they might say this to you, because you're doing 1,000 sales a month, we need to keep a balance of say $200 in your account in order to basically pay off this sort of money, which may happen in reference to all your returns you're doing, or the main extreme cases even cancel your account. So it's always worth, if you're going to be having problems like this as your payment provider, whoever it may be, is to swap over if the need comes. If you swap over, then that can give you a fresh start and then allow you to do things better. So if you have a problem, whoever you're using when you're selling products or services for whoever basically is the person who collects a commission or a company collects a commission, move to somewhere else and they'd be great and get rid of these problems. It's something worth thinking over your way. So if you want to search on Shopify, you can do that as well. Research shop or Instagram product tags, add Instagram, Shopify Academy, and Kit, your virtual assistant, on advertising, mobile app, TapCut. Find photos your online store, search over 1,000 stunning photos and download them all for free if you wanted to. Reach more customers by selling in the toys and games category on Amazon. So you can do things like this, selling Amazon within the dashboard. I think you can sell from eBay as well, and also I think it may be Walmart. I remember in the past, maybe they stopped it now, but there was another one you could sell from as well. I haven't really used Shopify much in a while, but I do remember you could definitely do that in the past, something like that. You can also save time by at the post office of printing labels in advance, so you can do that as well by using different things. You can also get a machine if you want to quite easy, so I got a few myself. So you can do that as well, or use it from their thing as well. Anyway, so try these top apps recommended to help your business grow: Unite Free Traffic, Do 15 Print on Demand, Power Currency Converter. It could be quite smart if you're say targeting people from all around the world. That's just for its sake. If you were going to say sell in both the UK and both America, it could be quite useful for you to have a price difference between dollar or pounds itself. or whichever currencies you're basically needing to compare by having something like that in stored. Let's go into now orders itself. By the way, I'm not going to cover every single part of Shopify and why and other things. I'm just going to give you a basic breakdown of it. Okay, so this is your order page. This basically covers if it's been refunded, paid, refunded, that kind of stuff, unfulfilled, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty self-explanatory. That's the name, date, when it happened, that kind of stuff. So we get information here which can be useful to us. For example, first we might find that overall we're finding that by us charging over $20, that makes the most amount of our sales. We might find our most sales to say $20 or more. So we could then find out if we actually change our product prices or what we're selling to $20 or more, we can then make more money. We might find as well, if we sell a wee bit cheaper, say $18, we can increase our sales by quite a large amount and still get a okay profit. So it's worth understanding how exactly you're selling a product, what it's costing you, and that kind of stuff. It's just a good way to think of it. I know some people who do businesses don't really think of these things, they just think it's money, 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 that kind of stuff. But you should be looking at things to try and always improve what you're doing. It shouldn't just be something you just do for a few minutes after you've done dusted, because you don't want to do it yourself, and you'll have to unfortunately pay someone to do it. And if you're paying someone to do it, if you don't know who's doing your work, to be completely honest, there is a gigantic amount of people when it comes to SEO itself or Shopify who really are not good people. In a sense, they can scam you for money or just make a mess of your site and then say something like, "Oh, you'll need to pay me extra $1,000 because I've had to fix a mistake you made or a mistake Shopify made," something like that. But basically just tell some lie and then try and overcharge you. So it's worth trying to get an understanding yourself of whichever program or platform you're going to be using when it comes to whichever website you want. If you want to use WordPress, try and understand a bit of WordPress. If you want to do Drupal, try and understand a bit. You don't have to become the smartest person in the world when it comes to the software. It's just a good thing to understand it so you can then understand what your agent or person doing the work for you is doing. So then you can say things like, "Oh, that's really good. I understand what you're doing is right, blah, blah, blah." It's just you can understand it a bit better. It can be quite useful. If, for example, you want to create an order, just like that, create an order like that. So if we want to create an order like that, email an invoice, accept payment by mark as paid, mark as pending. If you want to do something like that, you may find it quite cool. If, just for art's sake, say you're supplying to, say, a shop or some sort of physical business, or even, say, a hotel. If you're, say, supplying a hotel, say, for art's sake, some food or wine, whatever, you can then create an order of something like, say, $500, saying to him, "Hey, once you pay this invoice, I'll get it posted to you as soon as possible to you. Thanks in advance. Look forward to hearing from you," something like that, and get paid for invoices. So you could be doing things like that from Shopify if you want. So what's exactly your tags? Tags are basically things to organize. In a sense, you could put in a tag for your most popular product. You could put, for example purposes, just give a tag, say POP, just as a nickname for popular. You could then do that, meaning if anything, if say you got a total of 100 products, you could put any of your 10 most popular with the tag pop. So that means if I type in pop itself, it'll be more easy for me to find it. So then I can say, "Oh, that's our popular product. We need to order more, blah, blah, kind of stuff." So you can use tags itself to help you understand or manage how things are working as well. If we had abandoned checkouts, so what exactly are abandoned checkouts? Abandoned checkouts are basically when someone's about to buy your products, for some reason they've abandoned it. It could be for a range of purposes. It could simply be that their internet stopped working for a second, so they forgot about your site. It could be that they haven't got time at the moment. It could be because they found the product somewhere cheaper online, so they've gone there. Whatever reason for why they left, it can be quite smart to try and keep a record of where these people are, so then you can retarget them as a Facebook advertising, Instagram, or some other system. It's just quite smart if you target them again, so you can possibly sell. For example purposes, let's just say this one's fair enough. I'm just make a simple go with $30. Let's just say, for our sake, we were going to say try and get them in again. So we would then say to him, "Hey, I'll give you a 10% discount or $10 discount if in return you would then say come back to the store and then buy some of our products." So any guy would be like, yeah, it's pretty good getting $10 discount, so then he pays 20. So then he goes back to your site next week and buys again. So you could be using given discounts to increase your sales or increase the likelihood of people coming to you. You can also export. If you want to export, just say show to someone, keep a record, that kind of stuff. We can also do it from current page, abandoned page, from the dates here. You can change the dates quite easy to whatever you want. Start date, end date, that kind of stuff. We can also import as a CS for Excel, numbers, or for spreadsheet program, or simply a plain CSV file. We can also do it on current page if we want to, or like that. So we can quite easily change the settings very easy in here if we need to. And we just click that, and also then export all the abandoned checkouts. Now let's go into products itself. Products itself is basically where you add in a product. As I said before, you don't have to have a physical product. In a sense, just for our sake, let's just say we were selling a virtual product. Let's just say we're selling an ebook, which teaches us how to build, say, a toy car. So we sell an ebook which teaches us how to build toy cars and what our recommended tools are for, say, $20. So anyway, we got that virtual book installed. We basically have it. Whenever someone pays us, we then get to send them some way they can actually get the link to the ebook to download itself. You can do it many different ways. You can simply include a link from here after it's been bought, which will then send to your Google Drive, your OneDrive, wherever you're keeping the information. It could even be in another part of your website, which is just really a page or a link or a post which is kept hidden, except once you buy, so then they can download it. So you can do lots of things like that as well, quite easy. You can do it basically in most platforms quite easy as a whole. So anyway, let's just make a quick example. Let's just go with toy car ebook. Now, that's not going to win any awards for the title, but I just want to show you how it's done, just to get right. So we put in our description. So most of these options are pretty similar to things you've probably seen. That one there, in case you don't, is a hyperlink. That can allow you to include a table, image, or insert videos or query format. If we don't like our format for some reason, we can simply query format like that. We can also as well, if we notice it doesn't make sense, obviously it wouldn't, it's just the same letters, but car, toy, guide, book. So there we go. Just a wee mistake. So, car, toy, guidebook. Sorry, I'm just... So anyway, car, toy, guidebook. Anyway, so we got that a little bit done. It's not going to win any awards, but you get the idea. So show hypertext markup language we prefer. We can include images. Images itself is particularly important when it comes to e-commerce. The reason why it's so important, when people see your product on the search engines itself, they'll basically see an image. And if they see the image and say, wow, it's really good, I like that, then it can increase your click-through rate or your likelihood of selling. I'm not really going to explain how to click an image because it's just how most people generally know. You can simply drop it in or left click and find it on your computer, then install it here or simply upload it here. Now, I'm just going to make it a simple example just to show you how you should be thinking about things like this. Let's just say our product costs $30. So we have a cost per product, or in this case, an ebook of say $5. So that means every one of these we sell, its going delivery cost is say $5. So we might include an extra $5 to include delivery costs. So this is a virtual thing, it wouldn't really make no sense having an extra, but it just gives you an idea to explain it to you how you go. So we'd hence, if we're selling that with no delivery costs included, because it's just virtual, we then include a $25 profit in each one. So we can do it different ways. We do it Shopify or Oblito. You can do it other things as well. Most people just use one of these two. So why exactly is that useful? In this case, it wouldn't make much sense unless for some reason you only want to sell 100 ebooks for some reason. So we could keep a stock of say 100. So that basically means if someone tries to buy the 101 one, it won't work. If we track a quantity, it will stop us basically reselling. We can also include barcodes. Barcodes can be used if you've got lots of products to sell. It can be quite smart to have barcodes, so it allows you or anyone working for you to find your product or more easy as a whole, or wherever you're selling as a whole, more easy. I don't really use it much, but I can say traction for some people doing it. So continue selling when out of stock. This is kind of like a double-edged sword. The reason why I say it's like a double-edged sword is if we only have, say, 100 products in our stock room or wherever we're buying it from, if we sell 105, for example, 5 more than we expected, this could then mean we are forced to do a fast delivery for our product Because we're forced to a fast delivery, it might mean we have to spend more money, so we end up making a wee loss, so we don't make any profit or make any money from it. So this is the reason for why it can be a bad idea to include this. If you're not got a team able to monitor things for you or some really good system, that's the reason I would recommend in general you tick that off so that doesn't happen to you. This is your location of your business. This is a physical product. If we want to include our weight, we can also include it from outs, grams, or kilograms. We want to put a weight of say 1, just do that. If we want to select the country of origin, this is, some people prefer this just to make it more. Let's go to Ukraine, country of origin. We could also, if we want to have a HM hormone system, if you wanted to, used by borderers to classify as product. In some countries, you can have different laws that mean if you're selling certain products, you would have to basically say this is safe, this is the right things. It doesn't really apply in the country I'm in, but in some countries they'll need you to follow the laws if you're selling things such as alcohol and a range of other things it can include. This product has multiple options like different size. This is something which can be quite useful, which people generally forget when it comes to e-commerce sites, particularly for clothing. I'm just going to show you how to do it quite simple. Let's just go with simple example. Small, medium, and large. So, small, like that. Medium, large. So that means if someone tries to buy a t-shirt, we'll have a free sizes you can pick. If you want a small one, you can pick that one. If you want a medium or large. Let's include another option. Let's just go with color. Let's go with blue, black. We can, if we want to, for some reason, include what material it is. We can include what title is, some style. So we can include as many. I'm not going to bother into all these parts, just showing you how you can do these. But you get the idea. Just really pick the ones you need. In this case, those 2 sections we got done. We can include that as well. So you can see now it has as options appeared: small blue, small green, small black, medium blue, medium green. So you can see the options here. Total inventory available, location 0 available, so we have to change the settings. If we want to edit the SEO part, or what the search engines itself will see, or your customers will see, we can then put a good description in here. We could also, if we wanted to, say we don't like that name, we could then type in whatever we want. Just like that, and then change it and then save. We're not going to be using this bit, so I'm not going to be using that part again. I just want to give you a basic idea of how to do it. So if we don't want to save it, we just go to discard changes. If we want to continue editing like that. Okay, let's go into transfers now. So if we wanted to add a transfer for some reason, we could then add it into this section fairly easy and then use that as our system for different things. If we want to say add a transfer, for example, purchase say clothing, we could add in there, origin, destination, shipment, expected arrival, tracking number, additional details, and tags to make it more easy to organize. So if you had some need, you could add in transfers into this section as a whole. Let's just go into inventory now. By the way, Shopify may seem a bit slow to count. It's just the camera can slow things down. I mean, it's not the greatest in the world, but it's alright as a whole. So if we want to export our products, we could just do export like that. So we can export current page, all variants. If we want to for Excel, it's just like the same as really before, plain files, that kind of stuff. I'll just show you how to do it all locations. I'll just show you how to do 4 verses just to get an idea. It won't take very long in case you're worried if it's going to be a long thing. It's not. They'll generally send you an email once it's done. So I should have quite actually. There we go. Yeah, it's done. They'll either send you an email when it's done if you want to go on to something else while it does it. If you've got a very big shop or big store, it could take quite a long time to do it. But that's the reason for why it can be quite smart for them to email you and to let you know when it's actually done as a whole. So what we want to do is just what I showed you before. You can add in a product. So this basically tells us how many exactly have we got available at the moment. At the moment, according to that, we've got 0 incoming and 0 available. So if we were going to get, say, 10 added in or 10 ordered, we can just do 10. So that would mean we've got 10 available for us to sell at the moment. So it's quite easy to add in details in. That will mean if someone goes in our shop now, they'll see that these products at the moment are available. You can also include a set, include add. You can also include it from available to ascending, descending, when sold out. So you can do things in this quite easy as a whole. You can also see this is where you could include if you wanted your codes in here. They've already got codes added in, but you could include codes in here to make it more easy for you to find the product. When sold out, incoming, product, edit content available. Want to import for some reason, we can just click that and then import our file. The file itself will generally be in CSV file. So if you're going to be using something to add into Shopify, you will generally need it in a CSV file or file format. Let's go with now collections. So if we were doing for some reason creating a collection such as if we're as it was case a baby site, if we're creating a collection just for example up to baby clothing up to age 6 months, we could put in and create a collection here, call it baby clothing for 6 months old boy or 6 months old girl, that kinds of stuff. So you could be doing that, included information about it, your product tags. It's pretty self-explanatory, just copying the details here. If you want your own image here to make it look more attractive for your site visitors or even the search to a certain degree, you can include a collection here, product tags equal to, that kind of stuff. It's not really too complicated here, but you get the general idea. You can also see Facebook marketing is not connected, so we can include Facebook advertising to it. We can also include product available in free channels and apps if we wanted to. We can also make gift cards. So why exactly is gift cards a good idea? Gift cards to a certain degree, they kind of, if you like, it does of course always depend, but some people feel when they have a gift card, it's kind of like you're getting appreciated for you for being a customer in a sense. You might get points like what Tesco's does. You might get, say, a discount every month if you buy, say, 10 products, 20 products, that kind of stuff. So you could do a lot of different things with your gift card thing. It says your plan is to support gift cards, but you could make your own quite easy, or you could set it up through them. Making your own gift cards is honestly not really that hard if you want to do it. You can do it virtually, or if you feel like it, you could actually get gift cards made by someone which has got some sort of code or some way you can track who's actually using that, either in your website or from the actual card itself. It depends on how complicated you want to go, but you could get a gift card designed by someone fairly easy if a need came up. A gift for everyone, unique codes, instant delivery. So you can do it in a range of ways. You can simply do it. You might give a gift at a discount every Christmas, every New Year's time. You could do it in many different ways. There's not really any limit to how you can do it. Just be creative, see what works for you, and then go further as you get your sales up. That's basically just different customers I've had so far. Customers, just their name, where they're based. This is basically the app I've actually installed for analytics itself. Because it's quite new, the new analytics I've got is not going to show every single thing that's happened in the site so far. You can see there, 6 online visits, up 20%, online store conversion rates, that kind of stuff. So everything here is pretty easy to understand as a whole. I mean, there may be something you think, oh, I really don't know what it means, that kind of stuff. If you don't know what it means, you can ask someone, you can ask me if you want to. You can ask basically someone for help as a whole. The only thing I would really recommend you watch, this is one thing that really, really annoys me about Shopify, and to be perfectly honest, I've got friends all around the world who think the same thing as me. Shopify support as a whole is really, really bad. In the sense, if you ask someone a question, the person will often, it's kind of like you're in another reality to the rest of it. They'll basically have no idea what you're talking about, whether it's relating to Shopify, products, anything. It's really, really bad how bad they are as a whole. If you ask them a question about something at Shopify, such as if you identify a problem, they're like, "Oh, I don't, I don't really know." So they don't really know. So they try and help you, but the help generally doesn't do anything. It just kind of wastes time. Because I mean, whenever I try get help for something, whenever I say don't know, and it's just like someone in our reality, just have no idea what's going on. When you ask them questions, they often ask you the same thing back. It just becomes quite daunting and quite time consuming. Because when Shopify is apparently making lots of money a year, they should at least be able to employ people who are confident in a job or understand what Shopify platform is itself and what actually selling products or services through Shopify or e-commerce or online is. It's not a case of just finding the lowest paid people can find or people with no training for one reason or another. If we're wanting some sort of report, we could just really do that from there, session of time. So it could be quite easy to do that. We can also upgrade, percentage, that kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into the report, but what we could see here, so we can see my sessions is going up quite a bit. Sorry, at a moment, marketing, finance, that kind of stuff. So we can do things here quite easy. I'm not going to get into this app too much because the video is not really about the app. I just want to show you how you can do things. And one of the things that's quite annoying when it comes to apps itself, I don't know why, but in Shopify, I just find most of the apps designed are really, really bad designed as a whole. Whether you're buying one or getting one free. Not to insult this one, I have found it pretty good. I'll be fair, the people or person who made it have done a good job as a whole, but a lot of other ones I've used have been really, really bad. They basically don't work, or if they do work, it's a very complicated procedure to get work. It's one of the advantages of WordPress compared. Most of the plugins are really easy designed, so you can basically take a plugin, understand it very quickly, or if you don't understand, you watch a video on YouTube or wherever, and then you'll be able to understand it all. But when it comes to Shopify, I just find none of these sort of things exist as a whole. Marketing. So we could then see our online stores up again, 30 sales and marketing, that kinds of stuff. We could also go create a campaign if we wanted to. Since Shopify is basically to a certain degree more kind of designed for people who are doing paid per advertising or paid per click, you'll have basically Facebook will be the sort of thing you'll be trying to get you to use to pay for advertising, AdWords, or other things. So it would make sense for them to have some sort of thing in place for Facebook or AdWords to sell. You can obviously do it on Instagram or other places, but it's just the way they would expect. It's just how people generally do when it comes to e-commerce sites. There's definitely people who do SEO for e-commerce as well, but when people generally start off when it comes to e-commerce sites itself, most people don't generally go down the SEO route. Most people go down the paper advertising. The reason why I go down the paper advertising route is people will basically hear from different gurus or people claiming that if you do advertising through Facebook, you make money really easy, AdWords, that kind of stuff. So people basically get drawn into paid advertising, and it does sound good in principle, but in reality, it completely depends if you're doing the right advertising, we're getting the customers in, if you're selling at the right price, if you got the right things to sell to the right people. It depends on a few different things for paid advertising to be the best option compared to search engine optimization itself as a whole. Anyway, let's go into now discounts. If we wanted to, for some reason, give our say a customer a discount, so as he got a discount for his entire order, we can create a wee discount for someone. It can be anything in the world. You can give them a discount code, an automatic discount code. You can do this sort of things in big ways or small ways. You can simply give an automated discount to everyone who say spends $100 or more. Anyone that says buys your first product, you might entitle them to a 5% off forever. You can do it in lots of ways. You can see here percentage wise, fixed amount, buy one product and get a second one. You can do it in lots of different ways. Minimum purchase is 100, like that. Minimum quantity of orders, say 5. So you can see here we can do things quite easy as a whole. It's not really anything that complicated here. Once we're done, we click Save Discount, and that's us done that part. Now I'm going to get into the actual apps. We're not going to save this because we don't need that part, but this is just to show you some of the apps I've got installed at the moment. You obviously at the moment need some sort of GDPR cookie thing. I know some people claim, oh, I'm not in Europe, I don't need it, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to be targeting European customers, at the moment, this thing is something you need. I'm not going to get into that too much in this video, but it is something you should have on your website. Either whether you're based in America, targeting European customers, it doesn't really matter. If you get anyone from Europe, one way or another, you will need this in place at some point or as soon as possible, or you can get into trouble. Anyway, so we can see at the moment, I've got that one, Facebook advertising, Google Shopping, MailChimp, Oberly as well, SEO Booster. SEO Booster was quite a good app I've used. I haven't used it a great deal, but it has worked pretty good, to be fair. The creators of it should be proud. It is a nice program. I'll give them the credit due. Okay, let's go into Online Store. Online Store is actually it's the main thing we'll be working on when it comes to designing products, including things onto our actual website. This is really it's like an interface you'll be working off when it comes to doing work on your site itself. You can see here we can change our theme quite easy. We can go to blog post page, navigation, domains, preferences. So we can customize our thing by clicking there. We can also upload a theme if we want to. We can find themes here, Shopify themes. So we can find things quite easy. I'm not going to get into how to find a theme or upload it because you'll basically probably be able to know it anyway. But we can go into actions now, view, rename, duplicate, download theme file, edit code, edit languages. Let's say we want to download a theme code, just click like that. And it should be done quite quick as a whole. We can also see the last time Gecko saved. It may take a little bit of time, it's just the camera, so don't worry too much if you think, oh, it takes too long or something like that. We can also go into customize if we want to make changes to our site. Quite easy as well. Don't let this bit here scare you or think, oh, this looks really complicated, I can't understand anything like that. Just like everything, it just takes a bit of time to learn things, so don't let it scare you if you've never seen inside a Shopify interface sort of area as a whole. We can also see here as well, you might think, like, cool, that is basically what we would have for your actual desktop screen or for a tablet or a phone, whatever. It just sort of means you can change the screen if you want to, quite easy. So we can actually look at our thing and say, okay, so our shop looks alright at the moment. Can we make any improvements to it? If so, what can they be? So we can just look over here, give us a good look at our site. We can also change our navigation, want that moved, like that kinds of stuff. We can do that quite easy. We can also, if we want to have it, just simply hide it for some reason. If we want them to say drag to reorder, we can just drag it. We can also look at the footer layout, custom color variations, the theme actions. We can also edit the code if we want to, import demo, more tools if we want to, edit the language if we're say going to target say Russia, we might put into Russian language instead of English. It depends on what you're going to be doing for what you're needed, but it's a good thing to have a look in this bit if for some reason you need to understand how Shopify itself works as a whole. We can also look at the account, my account, styles, covers, typographic, collection page, product page. So we can see quite a lot of options from here. We can, if we wanted to, make changes to it. If we want to make changes to it, we can just go into things like that, my account, as one of the possible ways to make changes. We could then say login and register, my account link and header, show privacy policy, select page if we wanted to have a page for it. So we can do quite a lot of different things here, quite easy, as you can see here. A background image you want. So it's some cases a bit similar to WordPress and how it works. Shopify itself, if I remember correctly, is actually on a website style called Liquid Web. Liquid Web is just what it's called. Unless the name's changed, that was what I heard it was called before. And I remember reading as well. But anyway, so you get the idea. That's really what you can do from the settings as a whole. I mean, there's definitely more things you could be doing to it, but I just want to give you some information before going to other things as a whole. One of the things people don't generally talk much about is what blog posts are. People don't generally think of Shopify as something which has a blog, but you can put a blog in it quite easy if you want to. It doesn't really require much work, much effort, that kinds of stuff, but it can be quite smart to have a blog to see, talk about your products, give you information, that kinds of stuff. Let's just go with manage blogs. We can have comments disabled at the moment. If we want to add a blog, let's just go with add blog. Adding blog could be done for a range of purposes. It could be simply to have, for some reason or another, a blog about separate topics that we already got, such as a blog about, say, healthcare, a blog about dog food, whatever it will be. Just say dog food. If we want some feed burner URL, we can include something like feeds from Google or other things we want to do. Edit website CR, comments disabled, comment allowed pending moderation, comments are allowed and are automatically published. We could then save like that, save our blog if we wanted to. So you can see your settings here are not really that complicated as a whole. So let's just say we want to just add in a blog post. Let's just go with that. Adding a blog post will then mean you can do an article or someone else can do an article for you. Adding a blog post is just really like how it works on WordPress or other platforms. Once your blog's done, you can then publish it quite easy. You can see here at the moment, if we save it, just for example, just go to example 1, just like everyone, just put in your details. If we want to be hidden for some reason, maybe we're going to publish it next week, we can then hide it. If we want to set a publishing date, for example purposes, let's just go with the 30th of September, I say 12 a.m, we can do that as well. Clear a date if we don't need it. We can also save it. Once it's saved, then it will be on. If we want to tag, we can tag as well. If we had other blogs, we can include it there. If we want to create a new one, we can do that as well. So it's quite easy to settings from within this part as a whole. Pages itself are basically the main parts of your website which you can use for things. Pages can be used to a certain degree a bit different to posts. Pages itself can be simply, you can have a page about your cancellation policy, contact it. It just looks a bit more official having a bit of pages for your more important parts of your site. You could have it all post, but it just makes sense to include some pages of those. You see all the ones we've got at the moment: shipping policy, refund policy, piracy policy, contact us, that kind of stuff. If we want to add a page in, just like it's pretty similar to how you do it with posts as a whole. Just like that, we put in our details, visible if you want hidden, publish date, just copy in things like that, example 2, click save, and then it'll be ready to publish as a whole. We can also include our template suffix if we wanted to, for some reason or another. Navigation of how our menu works, that kinds of stuff we can do from here. So we could then include our menu here. We can include different ones like it's got, such as our news and our blogs. So we can do lots of different things here quite easy as well if we wanted to, for one thing. If we want to learn more about navigation, we could be doing that as well. Great. Also nested menus to display drop downs. If we wanted to. In e-commerce sites, it can be quite smart to have drop down menus where you have different parts to lead to your other products or services on your website as a whole. So we can include our domains itself. So we can find it from GoDaddy, never expires. If we want to include our preference or meta tags, that kind of stuff, Facebook pixels, Google Analytics, we can include a custom thing here, quite easy. Facebook pixel. If we want to say have our password protection enabled and enable password, we can do that as well. Since I basically covered the basic idea of it now, I'm going to be telling you what exactly I dislike about Shopify. Please note, I am welcome if you disagree. I've got no problem if you think differently to me or other people. It's just your own fault. But here's the reason why I can't stand Shopify as a whole. One of the things I find really, really irritating most about Shopify is the staff in Shopify just really, really annoy me in the sense I would actually go as far as saying it's kind of like you're always high in drugs. The reason why I say always high in drugs, they basically have no idea what's going on. If you ask them a question, they're like, I've got no idea. So it'll basically tell you something to someone else. I mean, for example, I could say something like this. I could say, so how is that good on a page? And they'll be like, add a page. You mean a blog post? And he'll just say, I'll just tell you that someone else. It's just really weird and a bit funny at the same time. But if you're trying to run businesses in a serious way, you just can't really be bored with these things. And when Shopify apparently makes big money, if it's to be believed, I'm not too sure when their staff are so confident, but when they make that money, it should easily be able to afford people who are confident at jobs or websites itself or Shopify itself, or people who actually have made money in e-commerce. I don't have to be a multi-millionaire or billionaire or something like that, but having the understanding of how to actually do things can be really useful, because then that person can then pass their experience, or you can, once you understand your experience to other people, so then your customers do better as well. I also find it quite bad, and it's quite hard to a certain degree when it comes to, if you want to make your own changes to it, I find it's really a bit annoying the settings in place when it comes to adding headers even itself in. The apps itself, in a lot of cases, they're not really updated much, or if they are, they're generally okay at best. Even if you pay for plugins or extensions or apps in this case, they're honestly as a whole really not very good, in my experience. The themes itself are pretty simple as a whole to put on. There's nothing really too bad about that as a whole. But you will find in general, if you're going to be doing Shopify sites or you're building one, this is no joke or lie. I have actually got quite a lot of friends who've got clients who are doing Shopify stuff as well. If you're doing Shopify, because of the on-page problems you'll have with this thing, it will cost you quite a lot more money as a whole to rank up a Shopify site compared to ranking up a WordPress site or a site in a more SEO-friendly format. You can disagree with me this part, but I have actually spoke to plenty of people who have agreed with me. I have actually checked out the settings before from a SEO viewpoint. There has been quite a lot of different problems with it. So you will actually, if you're going to be doing Shopify itself from a SEO viewpoint, you may seriously regret it, because you'll basically be forced to buy a lot more backlinks, or you're buying backlinks to try and make your site profitable or make money. For example purposes, you can maybe rank up a site in WordPress for say $2,000 a month. If you're doing Shopify, you'd probably have to spend about an extra $1,000 to even $2,000 to get the same chance to rank as someone in WordPress or another better designed program for SEO functions or SEO services as a whole. This, of course, does always depend. You could do it cheaper, you could do it for more money. I'm just giving you that as a baseline to work off from for why I would strongly recommend, if you're having a website itself, don't use Shopify. If you want an e-commerce site, there's plenty of different ones you can use. Magneto. I have to admit, I built my Magneto sites myself. It's a bit complicated work, but once you understand it, it can be pretty cool. The SEO things in it can be quite good as well. You can do lots of different things with Magneto quite easy, quite fast, once you understand it. Once you understand it, Magneto can be quite cool. If you don't really feel up to, say, doing more complicated things, WordPress itself is good enough. You can quite easily install a plugin and have your shop e-commerce theme, such as WooCommerce, You can use basically a million different plugins for WordPress that can do different things. It can be things for e-commerce, it can be for anything. And just because the plugins in WordPress are free, doesn't mean they're terrible, doesn't mean the person designed it is never going to update it. In a lot of cases, the free plugins which WordPress people invent or design are quite often actually better than actual paid ones. Part of why I don't actually, to be perfectly honest, actually buy plugins that much nowadays. It's just I find the quality of some of them are not really that good, and the free ones can be better. There's always exceptions to every rule, but for example, I buy things on things like PitchGround, AppSumo, and a few other groups as well. But overall, I don't really buy specific things from WordPress itself or other things as much as I used to, just because I have quite a lot of plugins myself. I sometimes design programs myself, so I don't really have a need to a certain degree to buy plugins or software for websites myself when I can program myself pretty good as a whole or understand how programs or programming works as a whole. Anyway, I hope this video helps you or provides you some guidance onto why I would not recommend you do Shopify work or you buy a Shopify site unless you're going to convert it to WordPress or you're happy with the SEO feature flaws, or is this something you want to experience or experiment on for one reason or another. Anyway, that's all. Thanks. Bye.